Welcome to Marketplace with Charles. Marketplace is brought to you by Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you, and Kuwisa Lodge, where dreams do come true, from deep in the heart of Mabalingwe Nature Reserve, as well as Grace Farms, your #1 daily fresh produce. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we redefine your future by equipping you with tools that you need to achieve your entrepreneurial dreams. Each week, we bring you insights from experts in different fields of business, from both men and women of great stature. On today's show, by popular demand, we once more meet a professor, a dean of the Faculty of Education at the University of Pretoria. He is also the manager pastor, and he's also an author. Well, it's none other than Prof. Sehoole. The concept of purpose and vision for life are topics of many books and motivational talks, and are regarded as ingredients for an effective and successful life. But what do purpose and vision mean? How does one discover purpose? And how are these concepts applicable to one's life? These are just some of the questions that our guest today will help us find the answer to. Well, help me welcome Professor Chika Sehoole into your home, your house, your hotel room, or wherever you may be watching these episodes from. Prof, once more welcome to Marketplace with Charles.
Thank you very much, Charles, and welcome also to your viewers.
We are once more delighted to have you. Today we want to discuss this purpose and vision. But before we do that, in a program like this, you can't have it well without a professor in the house. Who is Professor Chika Sehoole?
Professor Chika Sehoole was born in the village of Marapiani in Mpumalanga some many years ago. I was born and bred there, did my primary and secondary school education there. One of the things in terms of my upbringing is the fact that I grew up being a shepherd. I was looking after the cattle. Wow. From the age of 9 when I was doing grade 3 until second year at university. I was raised up by a single parent with children. We are about 4. And she was a great woman who really did her work well. And after I completed my secondary education, I went to the University of Limpopo. Now, then it was University of the North. I did my undergraduate studies there. And after that, I went to Wits University. I did 3 degrees there. I did my honors, my master's, and a postgraduate diploma in higher education, which I passed cum laude. And after a number of years, I went back and I completed my PhD there. I'm currently working for the University of Pretoria as a professor and dean. I'm the pastor of His Sanctuary Ministries in Pretoria, Montana. I am married to a very beautiful wife, Dr. Mami Sehoole. And we are blessed with 2 sons whom we are raising by the grace of God.
Wow. From a shepherd to a professor to being another shepherd in a church.
Exactly. And that's very important, Charles. When I grew up looking after those cattle, it was not cool when your peers were going to play football, were going to parties, and you would go to the field and look after the cattle. But one thing which those cattle did is that they paid for my university fees. When I got married, we slaughtered 2 cows from there. When I did the graduation parties, 2 cows from that kraal. We slaughtered them to celebrate, to feast. But what is most importantly is that the practice and of looking after the cattle, one learns very important principles and virtues.
Yeah.
And I'm raising this in response to your comment of saying, from being that kind of shepherd to now shepherding the flock. In looking after the cattle, one of the things which you learn, one of the values, is patience. It takes patience to spend the whole day with cattle in the field. It takes long suffering, which is a virtue which we derive from the Holy Spirit, to be able to spend the whole day there with the cattle. But as I grew up and trying to make sense of my upbringing, I also learned that to do that was also application of the fifth commandment, which is to honor your parents.
Yeah.
When they required of me to go and look after the cattle. And I'm telling you, those cattle are still there now, after four decades.
That's a great story to tell. Yes. Tell me, but then what is purpose? And why is it important for one to discover it?
Purpose is discovering what you are created for. It is, discovering your reason for existence. I see Mufaya here on the table. It has been, produced by someone who had an idea, and he or she understood the purpose for which Mufaya needs to serve. And in the same way, we are created by God in His own image and in His likeness. And every one of us, God has created for a purpose. So the reason for one's existence is my understanding of speaks to an understanding of what purpose is. When you know and you understand what you were born to do and to accomplish, you have discovered your purpose.
Now, I want you to help me, Prof, discover my purpose.
You want me to help you discover your purpose?
How does one discover one's purpose?
Look, discovery of purpose is something that the way it happens, and I will talk about my personal experience. It's not something that is a big bang. One of the things which I know is that I was born to be a teacher. And that thing was revealed to me, I discovered at the age of 9. The same year when I started looking after the cattle, I also discovered that I am a teacher, and I had this aspiration of being a teacher. And how do you discover whether you are in your purpose? That which you are called or you are born to be, once you discover it, you settle, you have got peace with it, it gives you excitement, it keeps you awake. And as you pursue it, and we will go into that as we'll be relating it to vision. As you pursue your purpose, it gives you fulfillment. And one of the things about purpose is that you don't struggle to do that which we were born to do. The things which people struggle to do when it comes to you just overnight, or that which takes people 5 months, 2 years to do, you can do it in a small period of time, effortlessly.
Now that you have touched a little bit on vision, what is vision and how is it related to your purpose?
I would say vision is related. After discovering your purpose, you will begin to dream. You start beginning to see what the future will look like. And purpose and vision are linked in that which you are created to be or to do or to fulfill. You start thinking about it and you have a picture of how the future will look like when this purpose is fulfilled. And that's how I see the relationship between vision and purpose. And let me add another dimension. So vision is what the future looks like when you accomplish the mission that serves your purpose.
Yeah. Prof, now you have got your purpose, you have got your vision, and we have introduced the third leg, the mission. How are these applicable to our lives today?
They are very applicable to our lives today because, all of us, everybody, and I always make this statement that God has never created a factory fault. So every one of us needs to discover his purpose and the reason why he was created. Now, I will speak about it in terms of how it relates to the present or our everyday life in relation to my own experience.
Uh-huh.
As I told you that I discovered at the age of 9 that I am a teacher, and I had this aspiration of becoming a teacher. And what did I do? I then embarked on a mission of studying. Completed matric, completed primary school, secondary school, but along the way of discovering and pursuing my purpose, I had to study. But God works in mysterious ways. In his plan of you discovering and pursuing your purpose, you will be on a journey. Remember, Moses, he was born to liberate the children of Israel from Egypt. But did it happen overnight? No. He had to, go to Egypt, he had to go to Midian, he had to come back. Only at the age of 80 did he manage, to do that which God had prepared him to do. But in the process, God was preparing him. Now, in my case, I remember at the age of 16, at the church I was attending to, I got confirmed. I don't know whether you know the concept of confirmation.
Yeah.
Yes. When I got confirmed, interesting enough, the pastor who confirmed me, after blessing me, he sang this song that was based on the transfiguration on the mountain, where the voice came from above saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him." And I remember when that happened, my mother was in the church as well. She went up and she said she cried. Now, that's a landmark in my life. Hey, what does this mean? The following year, at the age of, actually the same year, I was doing grade 9, standard 7 then. I happened to have a very good Afrikaans teacher who taught me, and his name Mr. Makinta, he's still alive, who taught me good how to learn and to write and to understand Afrikaans. He was so good, he gave us classwork every day. He was so good such that I used my classwork book to prepare for my matric examinations. That's how good he was. Now, after I passed matric, I went to the University of the North, the University of Limpopo now. In my first year, I did not do Afrikaans because I was afraid to fail. I did not want to be excluded. In my second year, as I was doing my second year, I did Afrikaans 1. My third year, Afrikaans 2. My fourth year, Afrikaans 3. And I ended up majoring in Afrikaans. But God, in his own wisdom, knew that in the future, I would be working in an Afrikaans-speaking university, and I would need that.
Universiteit van Pretoria.
Van Pretoria, yeah. Tax. So I mean, that's how God, in fulfilling his plans and purposes for your life, he prepares you in the early days. Secondly, when I went to the University of the North, I met a certain man of God. He's a chief of a village in Venda called Mr. Kamusi Dawana. He's from Hadavan. He took keen interest in a few of us, and he discipled us, taught us how to pray, taught us how to study the Word of God. But in that small group, he also taught us the importance of us excelling in our studies. And for the first time through him, did someone plant an idea that I could be a doctor and a professor. And he would say, you must excel in what you're doing and study hard, study to the highest level of education. You must be doctors, you must be professors. And when people ask, why are these people excelling? The answer should be, these are children of God. And I caught that and I started working hard. By the time I finished my PhD, to cut the long story short, I was a point of reference at the University of the Witwatersrand in terms of how students are supposed to conduct themselves in terms of research, in terms of diligence, in terms of how to respond to the training that they are offered by their mentors. One interesting thing that used to fascinate my mentor is that I used to sometimes go with a tape recorder to supervision meeting to just make sure that I don't lose anything. Now, coming back to the question of your of how purpose and vision finds expression in myself, I would like to say that it is not a linear process where you discover your purpose today, tomorrow it's coming to pass. It's something that there are some detours along the way, and the key in it is to maintain a sound relationship with the Lord, because once you have a sound relationship with the Lord, He's able to guide you, to lead you this way and that way, whisper in your heart. And a confirmation that you are on the right path is the peace in you that surpasseth all human understanding as you travel the journey of fulfillment of purpose.
In our last episode, we spoke about the long-term culture of learning, if you remember.
Yes, I do remember.
What will you say is the relationship between vision and learning?
Vision and learning. Remember, I spoke about the vision and the mission.
Yes.
And the mission, I said, is how you go about pursuing the vision. Now, as far as I understand and how learning finds expression in my pursuit of my vision, is that as I pursue my vision, I had to embark on a mission of learning. Learning is a form of expression or a form of pursuit of one's vision. You know the future, how the future should look like. And in pursuit of that future, and in my case, in knowing that I've got to be a teacher, I had to study, I had to learn, and use that as the how part of realization of the vision.
Wow. Prof, in your own view, what will you say are the pitfalls for one not having a purpose and a vision?
People who don't have purpose in life, it's a tragedy. As Dr. Miles Monroe says, the biggest tragedy in life is not death, but life that is lived without a purpose. One of the benefits of purpose or discovering one's purpose is that, as I said earlier on, it brings about fulfillment, it gives you vision, it gives you focus in life. However, if you have not discovered those things, you lead purposeless life. In other words, anything goes. If today you may start a business, or you may have a dream to go and study. In the middle of your study, you hear that there is a tender somewhere. You drop your studies to pursue that tender as you are busy with that tender, and you don't even worry how you secure that tender because you don't have purpose in life. What drives you is for as long as I can amass what is, this fake wealth. But if at all you are living a life of purpose, you'll also be careful how you go about, amassing whatever, wealth you may need to amass. So the danger of living a life without purpose is that, anything will go for you. Whatever opportunity that is made available, you will just go for it, irrespective of whether it's aligned to your vision and purpose, and you may easily experience shipwreck.
Here's a viewer out there. He feels like he does not have a purpose. He feels like he does not have a vision. How do you help that viewer as a professor?
Look, I would not confine it to my being a professor. Okay. The importance of discovery of purpose is related to one's creation. We are all created in the image of God. And as much as a fish cannot live outside of the water, so can we not live fulfilled life outside of a relationship with God. And I can only speak about what I know. So discovery and pursuit of purpose is linked to someone's, knowledge and discovery of the relationship with God. One's purpose, for you to be able to discover your purpose, you need to have a relationship with God. And that is the beginning of everything. And thereafter, you can then be able to find direction and focus for your life.
That's so profound. If someone needs more information on this topic, is perhaps are there materials out there that you can advise a person to read, even your own?
I mean, the most popular, author on this particular subject is Dr. Miles Monroe, who has written a lot on that purpose. I've read your books yourself, in which you write about your own life and how you pursued your purpose. I have not written books on purpose, and I believe that my life is an unfinished story. There will come a time when I write my life story. But, there is a lot of information on the internet about, pursuit of purpose, and also good Christian literature on purpose, which viewers can search and find them helpful.
And finally, Prof, if someone wants to get hold of you for more information or interact with your ministry, they say, no, I want to be part of this great church. How do they do that?
Well, we are based in Montana, and we are available on social media, on Facebook. If you at His Sanctuary Ministries, you'll find us there. And we are also available on Instagram at His Sanctuary Ministries, and we are also available on Twitter at His Sanctuary Ministries. And we are also available on the website www.hissanctuary.co.za.
Well, Prof, thank you very much for gracing our studio. Personally, I enjoy the talk. This show can't be what it's supposed to be without a professor in the house.
Well, it is by the grace of God, Charles, and thank you again for having me on your show.
There you have it. That was my wonderful guest, Professor Chika Sehoole. From me, Charles Ngobeni, thank you for watching Marketplace with Charles, brought to you by Art of Skincare, Kuwisa Lodge, and Grace Farms. Special thanks to Smiles to Wow for the insertion of our active aligners to enhance our beautiful smiles. If you have been blessed by this episode, let us know. You can get in touch with me on charlesngobeni.com. On Instagram, you can follow me, charlesngobeni_Ngobeni, or you can also follow me on Facebook page, Charles Ngobeni. You may want to view the repeats of this program at the leisure of your time by subscribing to Marketplace YouTube called Charles Ngobeni. Let us meet again next week at the same time and the same place for another power-packed episode.
Hello everyone, my name is Cherise. I come from Pretoria.
My name is Ruth Ajayi. I'm from Nigeria.
My name is Satara Khan. I'm from Port Elizabeth.
My name is Pastor Mashan Mpahlele. My wife and I are pastoring a church in Midrand, South Africa.
I'm a second-year student at KBSM.
KBSM has truly transformed our spiritual life and our marriage life as well.
The Bible school has really helped me a lot.
I'd like to welcome you and encourage you to take the step to come and enroll with Kingdom Bible School of Ministry.
I'm encouraging you today to sign up.
We encourage you to join this Bible school.
And please remember, it's free.
Dr. Abraham S. Raja here. You've heard it all from so many different people. What are you waiting for? Join our free international Bible school today.